Welcome to my unforgettable adventure. If you're new here to the channel, my name is Chris. I bought a 26-foot sailboat with no experience how to sail her, and am now working my way from Rhode Island back to Tennessee. This is my journey that I am sharing with all of you who might one day be inspired to take on a journey of your own. If you enjoy the content or find it helps you in any way, please like and subscribe and share with others to help support the channel. Hey guys, so it is about 9:30 at night. Today is August 9th, and I am preparing the boat because I was going to head out in the morning, but checking the weather and the currents and everything, I think I'm actually going to head out tonight so that I can hopefully arrive in Atlantic City, New Jersey with some daylight left sometime tomorrow evening. So I am now preparing the boat and trying to make sure everything's stowed away and make sure we're good to go. So I realize that it's really dark and hard to see this video right now. I have it sped up about 400% so you can just get a quick glimpse of what's going on, hopefully. Right now I am trying to pull the anchor, and it is about 9:45 at night, so pretty dark outside. There is a full moon, so that kind of helps a little, but in the midst of pulling the anchor, I'm gonna go back and forth a few times. I pull the anchor up until all the chain is like kind of tight. Once I get to that point, then I go back and I move the boat forward just a little bit, because I am not very good at pulling the anchor without moving the boat forward. And then after I get the anchor just up on the deck, I end up going a little further out so that I have a little bit more space to drift around while I am getting the anchor clean, getting everything stowed away, and then kind of saying goodbyes to Mike that's across the way there, who I also met over there in Atlantic Highlands. Super cool guy. He's actually bought a 30-foot Hunter that he's fixing up and going to be heading down to Florida as well in about a week or two from now. So that was cool to meet him out there. Anyhow, so again, I am just trying to get the anchor pulled up, and once I get the anchor pulled, then we will be on our way. this point, I have pulled the anchor, and we are now going around the breakwall and heading out towards Sandy Hook, New Jersey, and from there out to the big blue ocean on our way at this point to Atlantic City, New Jersey. It was a little crazy because I had checked the weather before I left and everything looked like it was supposed to be good. And then as soon as I got out of the bay and into the big blue, I started seeing some lightning. And thankfully it was where I came from and not where I was at. But everything seemed to go pretty good. It was a little choppy, not really as much wind as I'd like, so we did do a lot of motoring and some motor sailing along the way.
Make a fuss. You see me now. Oh, you see me now. You see me now. You see me now. Let me explain. I'm done with this, you will always be the same. Your apologies came a little too late. I'm leaving this behind cause I wanna stay the same. After all that we've been through, I always knew I'd be the one to care a little bit way too much. So now I'm gonna make a fuss. It has always been about you. Never been a table set for two. You never care a little bit.
I'm just going to start by saying that if you see me pause a lot while I'm speaking, it's because I am really focusing on trying to take out of my vocabulary. I find it to be not very good, and I use it more often than I'd like. Anyhow, so I got the anchor pulled. We got out of the bay there, past Sandy Hook into the ocean, and we were going down the coast. And right as I pass the last channel marker coming out of the coast, down the coast there, it was kind of crazy because I started seeing lightning, and I started to worry a little because I did check the weather obviously before leaving out, and when I checked the weather, everything looked like it was supposed to be good. It did look like the winds were going to be a little light, but weather-wise, everything looked like it was going to be in my favor. And then I started seeing some lightning, which was, I guess, good because the lightning was where I came from and not where I was. We did okay the whole way, so that was nice. Then, as I was going down the coast, I ended up being about 8 to 10 miles off coast. Damn it, got me again. Anyhow, so we ended up being 8 to 10 miles off coast because I was about 4 or 5 miles off coast initially, and then I started seeing there was a lot more traffic through there with like fishing vessels, commercial vessels. Got me again. All right, guys, we're going to get this out. I'm working on it. I really am. I'm sorry. Doing the best I can. So I went about 8 to 10 miles offshore just to try to avoid a lot of that traffic because I had a long ways to go and I didn't want to keep messing with them. That ended up being a pretty good idea. It did take a little more time, but I felt like that was a good idea and I did pretty well with it. We ended up doing a lot more motoring than I would have liked because there was absolutely like no wind for miles and miles and miles and hours. And then finally daybreak came over and we started to get a little wind. We opened up some opened up the head sail. That helped a little, doing a little motor sailing there. And then we reached Atlantic City, New Jersey area way earlier than I had anticipated, because the currents were just really nicely working in my favor. And I was at some point being pushed along at like almost 7 knots with the currents working the way they were working. So I checked the fuel. Everything looked great. Checked the time, checked the distance from there to Cape May, New Jersey. I looked at the map at Atlantic City, New Jersey, and there were a couple anchorages right when you come in. Looking at the charts, not map, charts, when you first come in, I wasn't really happy about how those anchorages looked. But if I needed fuel, then I was going to go in there anyhow. But thankfully, everything looked okay on the fuel-wise. Everything was good on time-wise, distance. And ideally, if I were going to go to Cape May, I wanted to still be there by, before dark. That was the whole plan of going to Atlantic City, was getting in before dark, which is why I left at night. So I was still pretty energized. A lot of people were like, you can just take 15, 20-minute naps, no big deal. I can't do it. I can't do it yet. Maybe because I'm still new. I'm the rookie. I don't know. I can look out the ocean and see I still got a long ways before there's anybody, but for some reason, I just feel uncomfortable with the idea of taking a nap. Just don't. It would be my luck that I take that 15-minute nap and there'd be some big commercial vessel that I didn't see on, somehow popped up out of nowhere. I don't know. I can't do it. So anyhow, I checked everything. Everything looked good. So I went ahead and kept going to Cape May, New Jersey. And part of my brainwave or my thought process on going to Cape May, New Jersey was, we have to stay up a little longer. We have to push a little further. But instead of, stopping for a day in Atlantic City, New Jersey, if we make it all the way to Cape May, New Jersey, then I can shut down for, 2 or 3 days and not really lose as much time as if I went to Atlantic City, shut down for a day, then came to Cape May and shut down for a day or two. Like, I'd rather push a little further and a little longer, get to the next stop and have, a couple days to recoup and get my energy back. And Cape May ended up being a pretty cool little town to go check out. I actually liked Atlantic Highlands better because it was more accessible, I felt like. There was more stuff if you needed something type thing. Cape May is a nice little touristy little town, I guess, if you want to say, to check out. For me personally, though, I like little towns like Atlantic Highlands that offered the shower. They offered the, free restrooms. There was food fairly close within walking distance that was affordable. Got me again. Anyhow. So, yeah, that's where we're at now. So now we are going into where the sun starts coming up and we go down the coast. We realize that Atlantic City was a little quicker arrival than planned, and we continued on from Atlantic City to Cape May, New Jersey, which is where I am at now. Cape May, New Jersey. So close yet still so far away. Looks like it's right there, but I still got a good hour and a half to go. That'll put me somewhere around 22 hours from Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey to Cape May, New Jersey. Ooh, I'm ready. I am ready to get away from these flies. Man, these flies are brutal. They bite, and they bite hard.
Motor sailing, baby. Trying to beat the dark, trying to beat the dark.
So I would have to say the worst part about my entire trip from Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, down to Cape May, New Jersey, were these crazy ocean flies. They look like house flies, but they are mean. And I mean like super mean. I ended up putting pants on. It was super hot outside, but I ended up putting pants on. And I typically don't wear shoes on the boat, even though I probably should. But I ended up putting socks and shoes on because of these flies. And they still bit me through my pants, through my socks. The meanest stinking flies in the world. I think they must be worse than mosquitoes, and I hate mosquitoes. But they followed me all the way from once I got almost, I don't know, maybe once daylight came out, really. You know, as soon as daylight started breaking, then I started getting all these flies on the boat. And I'm almost 10 miles offshore. It's crazy. And when I say there was a lot of flies, there had to be like at least 100 flies on the boat. And I tried to get some video of some of them, but there were just so many all over the place. It was crazy, insane.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive.
Cape May, New Jersey. So close yet still so far away. It looks like it's right there, but I still got a good hour and a half to go. That'll put me somewhere around 22 hours from Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey to Cape May, New Jersey. Ooh, I'm ready. I am ready to get away from these flies. Man, these flies are brutal. They bite, and they bite hard.
We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive.
to say thank you to everybody that has been following along on this crazy adventure of mine. And I really appreciate those of you that have been sticking around through the whole thing. Every time you click that like button, and for those that have clicked that subscribe button down there, that really helps build the channel. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, please do so. Follow along. The next video I'm going to go over Cape May, New Jersey, and just give you a little rundown on what I've seen while I was here. And then from there, we will let you know what's next.